KCorp fans are boycotting the LEC.
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
League of Legends Pro Play is going to look very different in a year as they introduce a completely new drafting system for Pro Play. There's a few interesting things to cover today, so timestamps are in the description, or just sit back and enjoy my yapping as background noise. Fearless Draft, which has already been used in the NA Challengers League, is coming to the LCK Challengers League. Now, let me cook here. We're getting 3 international tournaments a year. We have 3 LEC splits a year already. One of those is 100% going to be dedicated to a Fearless Draft split and a Fearless Draft international competition. They're just getting it tested out now. For me, it's 100% obvious. What is Fearless Draft then? Well, when a champion is picked, it cannot be picked again for the rest of the series. So if a team drafts Taliyah, K'Sante, Lee Sin, Nautilus, Zeri, neither team can pick them for the rest of the series, except if it goes to Game 5, picks from Games 2 and 4 are open again. I like the idea here, but I think it half commits to the goal of variety, and I actually think there's a different route worth testing. I'm a strong believer pros should be able to play loads of champs. A player like Cap should be rewarded for an insane champion pool, not just having 3 to 5 meta champs they depend on, and that's enough to be a pro player. Top laners through no fault of their own can play K'Sante, Aatrox, Gnar, Renekton. That's literally it, that's all they have to play. You should be rewarded for having a good Fiora, a good Riven. With Fearless Draft, best of 3s are going to be very, very similar, drafts with little change. I want one split with seasonal champs. It's been in other esports, and what do you think Pro Play would look like if the most played champs were banned? So top without Aatrox, Renekton, K'Sante, Gnar, Ornn, mid without Azir, Corki, Ahri, Taliyah, Akali. Like, who's coming into the meta now that can't be there because those champs are available? I'm just theory crafting here, but I'd really like to see variety in Pro Play. I don't care if it's forced, just after so many years of seeing the same champs, variety is going to be good for Pro Play, and even if it is one split a year, I think it will be interesting. Pros themselves have said item changes, map changes, objective changes do nothing really to change the champs picked, because the champs picked in Pro are there just because their kit is just so good for Pro. At MSI now, seeing Broken Blade on Yasuo, Yike on Ivern, and Yeon on Samira, it's been so much fun to see, like it's been really enjoyable. And you can see Top Esports, one of the best teams in the world, they've got no idea what to do against the Ivern. It's crazy. It's so fun to watch. It's the first day of the new split and K'Sante is getting buffed. First of all, I hope you'll climb very well. You're probably better off waiting 2 weeks as match quality is a little bit low first 2 weeks and then it does get better. But anyway, K'Sante is the worst champ in solo queue, but we're watching him 1v9 in Pro Play at the same time. The buffs they're giving are health and shield, which are slightly Pro Play favoured, so at this point you have a champ that couldn't be further apart from Pro Play and solo queue. I think they just need to admit it. No buffs or nerfs are going to change. The champ fundamentally needs another rework. I stand by K'Sante. I actually love him as a champ. I think he's so fun to play, especially in his all-out form. But he's so frustrating to play against. And I just don't think he can be a tank and a bruiser at the same time. I just think turn him into a carry or just a juggernaut, because that's how he kind of plays in ult form. And if you haven't played him, he is so much fun. He was even more fun before the rework, but anyway. They just have to pick one. At the minute, K'Sante players aren't happy with him. They feel like they've had a lot of the kit removed. People watching him in Pro aren't happy because he's just disgusting to watch, let's be honest. So I think another rework. They can't just give up on him. Now, my favourite clip of the week I had to share from the KCorp Reddit because it cracked me up. It's simply titled, "That One Kid Coming to Disneyland for the First Time." Top banter.
Oh, Mickey! Oh my God, Mickey! Mickey! Look at that! Mickey! Mickey!
Hans Sama unfortunately received several death threats following his failure to buy an LDR versus T1 and K'Sante, and yes, it was painfully troll not to see it, but I don't think LDR changed much. K'Sante wasn't even ever low HP. I don't think he would have changed the game. He just had a bad series, it happens. If anything, he should be playing for being French. I think we can all agree that's way worse. But we have to give credit and respect to Hans for being an absolute mentality monster. He tweeted out, "Thanks for the tips, bought LDR and won," which I think is great to have the humour for it. But what I love from Hans is honestly the elite mentality. To come back from the flame, a terrible series, the pressure of MSI, he's versus no less than Jackie Love and Mako, with Jackie Love whacking out his signature Draven, just for Hans Zermer to stomp him on his Draven. and carry games. It's so hard to do. I don't think people rate or respect just how hard it is to do. Especially on a role you have to play on the edge, and one mistake, you die and your team loses because you are the damage. It's truly a underrated goated performance and comeback. Speaking of unsufferable French people, KCorp make hating on the French so much easier to do. It's like a hobby at this point. They released a statement they are boycotting the LEC. The sense of entitlement is crazy to me. And they wrote a statement like, this is a serious legal matter, like there's been a bit of violence. This bit, we are open to a dialogue with relevant people and responsible parties. It's like someone trying to sound intelligent or some major protest where there's been violence. Like, guys, you tried to get on stage and shake the players' hands. If you did that at a football game or a basketball court, you'd be tackled to the ground. Grow up. No one cares you aren't going to the LEC. In this statement as well, they haven't even given one example of the claims. Like, I think they deep down know they're in the wrong, but they're just, I don't get it. Because it's a real shame, because 90% of what the KCorp fans do, and KCorp themselves do, is incredible to watch. If you watch a show match with Reckless playing for KC, it is one of the best league events in Europe, hands down, ever. The atmosphere is incredible. It's all because of the incredible KCorp fans and the KCorp org, to be honest. This was when KCorp weren't even in the LEC. They were in the lower region, so there's just less money available, and it was an incredible event. They're so good overall for European League. There's just like 10% of the fan base and cringe that ruins it, and this just isn't a good look. That's it for today. I'll have a new video out tomorrow, so subscribe because we are on a roll.